What's up, everyone? Welcome to Backlog and Beyond, the podcast where we talk about the old video games we want to beat and the new ones we play instead. I'm your host, Jeff Zavatero.
And I'm your other host, Jeff 2. And this is episode 24.
24!
I'm actually Nathan Hawkins, not Jeff 2, but that's what Jeff wrote in the notes, so I decided to be nice and read it for him.
It should be the rule from now on that you have to read what it says.
That actually, I'm totally down for that, as long as we'll keep it clean, but that's a really good idea.
And yeah, like if you laugh, you lose.
If you laugh, you lose.
You're not allowed to read it until like the day of.
That's fantastic.
How's your week been?
It's been good, you know. It's been crazy though, because the time change and everything. We had to get the girls adjusted to that.
Mm-hmm.
So we spent every day adding 10 more minutes to their sleep schedule, and that was just hard because they're like ready to go to bed all the time. So trying to push them extra 10 minutes every single night.
Yeah.
And then Halloween night was horrible, man. Claire was she cried for an hour straight.
Oh.
And we just kept going in there every 15 minutes. It's okay, calm down, go to sleep. It's okay, calm down, go to sleep. We did it for an hour while watching Hubie Halloween, which was amazing, by the way.
No, it was not. Shut up. It was so bad.
It was so good.
Oh, no.
I was reminiscing of all the old Adam Sandler films, man, and they had so many Easter eggs. I enjoyed it.
I don't like that character he has. It's like he did it well in Billy Madison, but like for me, it didn't hit for me.
All right. No, I totally agree. Like I can't say that it's better than anything he's ever done.
Yeah.
But compared to some of the other things that he's done, like what is it, Jack and Jill or whatever? Or...
I admit I haven't seen a ton of his stuff, but I am an Adam Sandler like guilty pleasure guy. Like
yeah.
I loved Pixels.
Pixels was great.
I loved The Cobbler, which no one's seen, and
I've never seen The Cobbler.
That movie was about like he was a shoe cobbler, and if he worked on a certain machine and then put on that person's shoes, he became that person.
Oh, that's cool.
It was a super cool premise.
That's awesome.
So, being an Adam Sandler fan like that, and then watching that movie, I was very disappointed.
Well, fair enough. But anyway, I enjoyed it, but it was hard to enjoy it with Claire crying the entire time.
That's fair.
But anyway, at some point she eventually fell asleep, so we were good. So anyway, we had a good Halloween. We just drank wine, had tacos, nothing special. But how about you? How was your week?
Good. It's so weird I fell asleep after the time change. So the second time it turned to 2:00, I went to bed.
Second time it turned 2, that's amazing.
I worked at the movie theater, and then at night we did a Zoom call and we just had some drinks and played some games. We watched Happy Death Day. And there was a drinking game with it, so every time like certain things happened, we took a drink.
We did the trailer for that. Movie.
Sick!
Yeah, that movie looked fun. Like that looked like a really fun, just stupid horror slasher. That looked really fun.
Yeah, and then so now I really want to watch the sequel, but I definitely enjoyed myself. It was like the Groundhog Day aspect was so good.
Yes, yeah. It looks like a cool movie. I want to check it out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and then I've also been watching Ted Lasso. I just started that after finishing Defending Jacob on Apple TV Plus.
Okay.
I moved on to Ted Lasso. It's by Bill Lawrence, who did Scrubs, and as Jason Sudeikis as he coached like a second level college football team to a championship, and he got hired to coach a soccer team in the UK. And everyone like hates him, but it's so funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
So yeah, I just don't like it getting dark this early.
Yeah, I know. I don't mind it, to be honest, but I think Shannon loves standard time, so.
I just want to it's for farmers. No, like, sorry, farmers, but like,
I want to get rid of it entirely. I agree. I want to get rid of it, but
because I know in March I'm gonna be like, I will.
Right, but this is technically true time. This is standard time right now.
Yeah.
So this would be the time if they removed daylight savings altogether. This would be how it would be.
And which is fine, but I just don't like the sudden change. Like last week when I got off work at this time, or even yesterday, it was fine.
it was light out,
but now it's dark at 5:30.
Oh my god, that's great.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we have an episode today. We're going to be reading terrible reviews of our favorite games of all time.
Can't wait.
But before we noticed that we got some praise on Apple Podcast reviews. 3 5-star reviews, but 1 written review, and we want to thank this person.
Yes. So this review was sent to us September 20th, 2020. So we totally missed this. This is by Desert Bloomer. Desert Bloomer says, Nathan and Jeff are such fun. Their podcast delves into gaming news, visits favorite classics, and incorporates their humor and fun for an overall good time. Whenever I tune in, I can't help but feel I'm hanging out with longtime friends, nerding out, and talking about video games. I am ever thankful for Nathan and Jeff and for what they are doing with the Backlog and Beyond podcast. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Desert Bloomer.
That was so cute.
Wow. That is so nice. So thank you, Desert Bloomer, for your review. And if anybody out there wants to write a review, whether it's good or bad, we will gladly read them on the show. Constructive criticism is, we'll take it. We'll take it.
I'll just read straight up insult. Like, you could tell me I look like Vincent Schiavelli and Gary Busey all day long, and I will read that on the air.
But also, if you review the show on Apple iTunes, if you review the show on iTunes, that actually helps us get seen as well. So that helps.
Yeah.
So thank you again, Desert Bloomer. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. And those of you who are listening, just a reminder, we are also on Twitch live at this moment. We'll get more into that later. But yeah, let's get into our gaming. This is what the podcast is about. What are you playing this week?
I've been playing a lot. Outlast, I beat that for the spooky season. That was awesome. I still hold my opinion that it's probably the scariest game I've ever played. Just really well done. I was actually shocked that the story was good. Like the story actually, they did a nice job of interweaving like lore and Easter eggs. Like I guess at one point you see a part of the map earlier on in the game, but you don't realize that's where it is until you think back. Like, oh, I saw this earlier. But it's a great game. I suggest anybody who wants to get scared out of their wits, play Outlast. It's amazing. I also I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima. Mm-hmm. I'm close to getting 2 new sets of armor. I'm not going to spoil anything about the armor, but I'm really close and I'm excited. And we also played Among Us. You and I played.
Oh, I forgot about that.
The other night, and we had a blast. Granted, I was streaming it, and I didn't realize till afterwards that my stream was lagging. I guess somebody had mentioned it, but I didn't even notice. But I watched it later. I was like, oh, that's bad. So basically, I just can't play anything on on my PC and stream at the same time because the CPU can't handle it. Ooh. But either way, it was my first time playing with a group of people, and it was awesome, super fun.
Yeah, it's still my first time playing that game, and I was able to use that to my advantage to let people know that I was not the killer.
But Jeff and I actually at one point we both were the killers.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious because there was this one part where I had vented into the room where there was somebody in there and they clearly saw me. I was like, oh no. And when you vent, you have a timer. So it's like you can't kill them right away. But luckily Jeff was already in the room and he killed her. And it was like, sweet. And then I ran out of the room and followed somebody else. And then I killed them and then we won. It was such an intense moment too because it was like, oh no. It was crazy.
You did all the work. I killed nobody until that moment. I was like, thank goodness I was following people so they wouldn't think I was suspicious.
Oh my god. Yeah, so anyway, I had a blast with that. What about you? What did you play this week?
So I didn't play a whole lot outside of that. I picked up Wander for Oculus, and it's pretty much an application where it takes Google Maps Street View, and you can enter any address in the world and look at it as if you're standing in front of it. The difference is it can be multiplayer. So I gave Emily the other headset, and we would go look at places together. I took down I saved all the addresses and houses I remembered that I lived in. And I was like, oh, I lived here. And she showed me where she lived in Illinois. It was super dope.
That's so cool.
Yeah, we went to the Eiffel Tower, and the Google Maps people apparently went inside it. So we were able to stand and look down from the Eiffel Tower.
Dude,
it was so cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so we'll definitely, I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to have her ship it to you tomorrow. So we'll be able to try some stuff like that.
It's going to be super romantic when we're on top of the Eiffel Tower together.
I'm king of the world.
Never let go, Jeff. Never let go. That's so cool. I love that. That's awesome. That's a great story.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. So yeah, that's pretty much the only game experience that I had this week.
That's awesome. Yeah, still cool. I like it.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on to the news. Common theme in all of our news this week. So I will start. Destruction All Stars for the PlayStation 5 has been delayed until February. However, it is going to be free that month with PlayStation Plus. Right. So the poor people who pre-ordered it or won it for free in the Burger King giveaway that means nothing now.
Right.
I was
You get
interested in
nothing.
this game, but not for $70. So I
Right,
think the
right.
opportunity to play it for free is super. Maybe it'll do what it did for Fall Guys and Rocket League.
This was a very smart move too. I think they did the same thing with Bug Snacks, even, right? Where
We'll get there.
they're okay, yeah. So it's pretty cool. Like, anyway, awesome.
Yeah. What about your news?
So I actually added a lot more news than you because I could not pass up a lot of this stuff. It won't take long though. I'm just pretty much fly through it. The big one, Cyberpunk was delayed again.
Mhm.
The new release date is going to be December 10th. Apparently it's because they're having like to test 9 different versions of the game. I don't know how they didn't think of this in the first place, thinking, oh, that's right, we're going to have to deal with the PS5 version, the Xbox Series X, and the Xbox Series S version as well. So there's that. And I guess obviously they don't want to rush the process, which totally makes sense. I'm fine with it. And honestly, I could care less because I'm waiting to play the game anyway till I get a PS5, so I don't care.
Yeah, but it's another like. Well,
yeah,
there it is again. Did you
well,
see that?
like,
Did you see the
sorry,
tweet from the day before where the guy was like, "Okay, I'm gonna request these
Yes.
days off of work to play this game. Can you
Yeah.
can you confirm it is not getting delayed again?" And then the
They're like-
Twitter account was all confirmed, and literally the next day.
Confirmed. JK.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, so but I guess it's also the fact that they're all working from home, so I can imagine that's adding a lot more work and stress and time issues and stuff. So yeah, that kind of sucked, but and the fact that they already went gold with it too, it's like, oh
I know
my
you can't
God.
say a game went gold. It's not gold anymore.
No, it's not. It's not ready
Silver.
anymore. Now it's delayed again. But anyway, also more delays. Far Cry 6 and Rainbow Six Quarantine were also delayed till March 2021. So that was another one. Last time on the show, I had talked about the PlayStation 5 company.
PlayStation 5.
PlayStation 5, not affiliated with Sony whatsoever. Apparently, they got shut down. Sony's lawyers got on that like immediately, and they're like, "Yeah, change your name. That's not
Maybe
cool."
they were
We're like,
listening
okay,
to
sorry.
the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So they changed their name, and then even then, it wasn't cool. They're like, "If you guys end up distributing these, we will take you to court."
Ooh. Dang.
Yeah. So
That's messed up.
yeah, I know. So I guess we're gonna have to deal with the white faceplates for quite some time. But I mean, I guess it's not hard to believe that happened because I can imagine the fact that the plates come off so easily on the PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm.
You have to believe that PlayStation 5 was going to come out with custom plates and all that stuff.
So now they
at
don't
some
have
point.
to. With I saw a video how easy they pop off. So now you don't have to get a limited edition console. They can
Right.
just release plates for their exclusive games, and I'm actually jazzed about that.
I am totally jazzed about that. So that's kind of cool. But anyway, it kind of sucks for PlayStation 5. So now they started a company for no reason, and now they're done. And then 2 more things. Did you see the Spider-Verse outfit for Miles Morales?
I did, and I
Dude.
loved it, and I loved that they lowered the frame rate to 12 frames a
Yes.
second for him.
Yes.
And that it's optional, which is
Yes.
because I'm like, that's cool, but
What if I don't want to lower the frame rate?
I
Yeah,
know.
exactly. But it's such a cool, like the detail they put into that. It's amazing. I'm super excited for that outfit. I almost want to play exclusively with that outfit in the frame rate.
I know.
know why,
And
but-
it doesn't even seem like they had a cartoon one in the last game, and that felt out of place. But this one doesn't feel out of place as much.
No, not at all. So that was a big one. Also, last but not least, I'm just going to plug something real quick. Starting next weekend, November 7th and 8th, I'm going to be doing my very first charity stream for the Los Angeles Children's Hospital. And anything that we get from that evening as well for the podcast, Saturday evening, all of those proceeds will also go to Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
Oh, cute.
So if you guys have a chance, twitch.tv/adventure Hawkins. I'll be doing a charity stream for Children's Hospital of Los Angeles through Extra Life. So we've actually teamed up. I've teamed up with Current Backloggers, which is another podcast, kind of like ours. And they reached out and they're like, "Hey, you want to do a charity stream with us and join our team?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" So there's that.
Good.
So
That's super cool.
Yes, if you get a chance and you want to come to see the show live and you want to donate, that's where you can do it.
All right.
So that's it.
Awesome. So that's our news for the week. You did have a lot. You should have given some of those to me.
I know. I'm sorry. I didn't think about it. I was like, shit, last minute.
I could have talked about all delays, and you could.
All the delays.
Anyway, we're going to move on. It's that time of the month. We're going to be talking about the free games of November 2020. I looked through all of the platforms, and I couldn't find as many new games. So this list is considerably shorter, and I took out a lot of descriptions so that you wouldn't just have to hear us talk as much as you did last time. For the PlayStation Network, Tuesday, November 3rd. I don't know why I wrote that. That's wrong. Oh, for Middle Earth: Shadow of War and Hollow Knight Voidheart Edition. Those will be free for the PlayStation 4. Cool. Hollow Knight is a platformer, and Middle Earth is kind of a Arkham-esque fighter game that has consequences in the battle. But the most important news of this so far, Bug Snacks for the PlayStation 5 will be free from November 12th to January 4th, 2021.
Another smart move by Sony, because no one's going to buy that.
I, in fact, want to pay for it anyway. It deserves it. One of these weeks I'm going to make you play Octodad. And
no, I'm kidding. I'm down.
You're going to play Octodad and you're going to love it. I love wacky concepts like this for a game. It is the normal of, like, I know you don't like stupid games like Persona 5.
I didn't. Okay, you know what? We're gonna just eliminate that word stupid altogether. I'm sorry I said stupid. I denounced the word stupid. Okay.
I feel like this game could have a really serious horror turn, and I am absolutely
interesting.
Here for it.
Wait, you think that's the case, or there's something hinting?
There's a lot of speculation at it.
Interesting.
Yeah. Next for the Xbox, we talked about last month. They have Made of Skur, which is still available for free until November 15th. Or you can get Xbox One game Origami Shadow Edition, November 1st through the 30th. And lastly, the Xbox original game Full Spectrum Warrior, November 1st only until the 15th. Cool. I ain't even look up for descriptions for those.
That's all right.
I'm so sorry.
No,
lastly, we have Epic Games. Fortunately for me, one of those is Blair Witch, which is a game I promised to play in VR. It's free on Epic until November 5th, and I can play it VR through there. So I will be giving that a shot. And also Ghostbusters, the video game remastered, which many people have called the spiritual third movie in the series. All of the actors returned for it, and I think it was also written by the cast.
It was written by the cast members, I believe.
Yeah. So I tried to play that one myself. It felt very clunky, even the remastered edition.
Yeah.
I played it on the Switch, but I do want to eventually push through.
Okay.
To get the story out of it. And the last one coming for next week for Epic Games is Wargame Red Dragon from the 5th through the 12th. And the only description I could find is a real-time strategy game.
So specific. Wow.
I know. Great. So those are the free games for the month. And next we're going to move on to our main topic. We have gone through many times looking up the greatest games of all time, mostly using Metacritic as a base for it. I was inspired by the podcast Beats Too Sandy, Water Too Wet, where they get themes for every week and they read terrible reviews about those things. And now Nathan and I have put a list together of games we enjoy and reviews that trash those games.
Right.
Some of them were a bit more scandalous than others. But I took 3 of Nathan's favorite games, and he's going to read the reviews from those. And hopefully we can get some laughs.
And disclaimer, I have not read these yet, so you'll probably get some laughs out of me.
Yeah, so Nathan's going to read the ones about his game. Just to note, the Red Dead Redemption is only the first game.
Okay, cool. All right, here we go. Red Dead Redemption 1. This is on Metacritic by Will Malloy 38. Gave it a 2 out of 10. Honestly, one of the most overrated games I have ever played. L.A. Noire puts this game to shame. Part of the reason I didn't like it, I am sure, is because I just never really cared for the Western theme. However, I thought maybe this game would do something different or unique. It didn't. On top of that, the atmosphere and story was the blandest I have ever played through. What? Are you kidding me?
How can you call even now Red Dead Redemption bland? Bland?
What? Bland? I could use a bunch of words right now if I could. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, Will Malloy 38. Will Moy 38. You can just get out of here, partner. All right. RDR1. There's another one on Metacritic by Mixed Skittle. 3 out of 10. What were you smoking when you thought this GTA ripoff is good? No horse drives like a car. Oh man, I have so much to say about that. The textures and glitches are horrible. Mediocre story. Go play Zelda Twilight Princess. That way you get a third person with a good camera. If you like this game, you're a Kurt Russell fan.
So specific.
No way. Okay, first of all, no horse drives like a car. Have you driven any of the cars in GTA? They are the worst driving controls in any game that involves a car of all time, McSkittle. Okay? And that's a fact. It's probably not a fact, but, that's how I feel. Okay, next one. Metacritic, gamey nerdy nerd. Ugh. 2 out of 10. That's like... Anyway, the game is boring like Assassin's Creed 1 and 2. All you do is run around and punch people, and there isn't a good story to it. That's what makes it boring. Oh my god.
That's like me writing an essay in second grade.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you not only picked the worst reviews, but you picked, like, people who don't know how to write reviews. This is amazing. The fact that he said it's boring like Assassin's Creed 1 and 2. What? 1 was amazing and 2 was awesome. Wow. Clearly this game is... here's the thing. Disclaimer. Red Dead Redemption 1 is not going to be for everybody. It's a very slow-paced game. It's very much a immersive, realistic, brutal, open world exploration game. And if you want a game that's on rails and you want just a game that's going to run like a movie or a story and it's just a guided experience, this is not for you. So I understand if people don't like it because of that reason, but come on, bland? Oh, boy. I know.
One of the greatest video game endings of all time.
Easily.
Bland.
Easily. Red Dead Redemption 1. Wow.
A lot of the reviews I was reading was from the last 2 years, and they're like, running through snow takes so long, and I'm like, you didn't even play this. This is the second game.
Yeah, this isn't 1, this is 2, dude. All right, cool. Next we have Ghost of Tsushima, another one of my favorite games. Metacritic by Mark999, 0 out of 10. Okay, he gave the landscapes 10 out of 10. He said, but that's where the good things end. Graphics are unpolished and kind of remind me of PS3 games. The story is nice but simple and boring. Combat system is weak, and what's the point of making an open world game where all the side quests are all the same? I really don't get all the hype for this game, really. Okay, well, the combat system is not weak. The combat system is actually really well thought out, and it's very enjoyable and very, I don't know, I would have to say it's addicting. Once you get really, skilled at the combat, it gets so addicting because you feel like such a badass. And that's all I can say about the combat. Now, I can kind of agree with the side quests. The side quests tend to be very similar, but that's kind of what we've already been playing for the past, I don't know how long. Like, the past generation, every open world game has done this, where every single side quest feels almost the same. So it's nothing new.
Yeah.
But man, the graphics are not unpolished at all. They are really well done. The game looks beautiful. I have to disagree.
Alex says, what? Unless Mark999 is an actual
samurai.
I'm quietly laughing at her comments on the side as we...
That's fine. That's fine. Okay, cool. Metacritic by Toguro Younger. 0 out of 10. Historically inaccurate, which I've heard. There are some things that are historically inaccurate, which is okay, fine. Main character always uses the same weapons, being a samurai or not. Main character completely ignores enemies' weapons. Dev's laziness. Interesting. Dumb AI. I think they've actually changed that. I think they fixed that. Because, yeah, the AI was horrible day one.
Yeah, I remember
but
when that changed.
They really fixed it, and they're a lot more aware. Scripted AF story and combat. Yes. Okay. Open world, but the main plot is linear AF. Okay. What's wrong with that? Player choices are pointless because the plot is scripted and linear AF. They really like the word AF.
AF.
Has 2 endings with the same outcome. Yeah, I mean, when I got into this game, I didn't expect. It's funny because when they said, "Oh, you can make choices," and I was like, "Well, I didn't even expect that coming into this game, so that's cool."
Yeah.
But I didn't. I mean, I've been playing for well over probably 30 hours now, and I know that this is gonna have the same outcome. There's no way they're gonna have two separate endings. Like, I was shocked that Red Dead Redemption 2 had two endings. But this, I mean, the fact that it has two endings is cool, but same outcome, that kind of sucks. But yeah, I mean, I can't really argue with a lot of this because I'm not really sure about. I'm not like a weapon specialist. I'm not a samurai. But scripted story and combat. What's wrong with a scripted story? What is that? The main plot is linear. Okay, some games do that.
It's like it's a cinematic experience. It's supposed to be like a movie. Some of these, like obviously they're less funny, but I more wanted to see
my reaction.
Yeah,
this is great. We're gonna be doing more of these, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the next one. This is the last one. Looks like Metacritic by Zorro Thomas 7, 0 out of 10. Game was boring. Had more fun playing Tetris. Don't recommend at all. Just stick with Zelda. Wow. That's so rough. Oh my god. Had more fun playing Tetris. I'm gonna ignore that. Next one, Metacritic. So here it's Odorlux. Odorlux, yeah, OD3RLUX, 0 out of 10. Is only art.
It's only art.
Oh no. Is only art and I get bored easily. It seems very good. Ecstatic. But in the play, I think he's meant to say accept. I really hope I'm not making fun of somebody who's dyslexic. It seems very good, ecstatic, but in the play, it turns boring. What? Why'd you give me this one? This is horrible.
It was so fun to read.
Is only art and I get bored easily. It seems very good, ecstatic, but in the play it turns boring. The mechanics are okay, but if you go 20 hours straight, you will begin to feel sleepy and bored. Well, I don't feel sleepy or bored yet, so I don't see the issue. Next one, Crystal Abyss, 1 out of 10.
This is my favorite
game
one.
is bleep awful. I bought it wanting a good, interesting, ancient Japanese style game, but instead I got an unsatisfying, badly designed lump of garbage. Once you get past the tutorial, every fight is virtually impossible. That's not true. And although at first the combat seems interesting, you soon find out that it is impossible to get into and causes extremely stressful and rage-infusing fights that will leave you smashing your TV in a fit of rage and forgetting what the plot is even about. The story is mildly interesting, but it soon gets drowned out by rage, anger, and artificial difficulty. Do not waste your money on this game. Okay, the combat is not that difficult. You just have to change your stances. I'm telling you. You change your stance, and you will scrape in this game. Big time. I suck at twitchy games. I suck at first-person shooters. But I am scraping in this game because I am changing my stance as often as possible. I'm using my health. I'm timing the health properly. There's so much strategy in this game that people don't actually even notice, but it's there. It is so good. Okay, last one. Metacritic by Blah, 0 out of 10. I just got the game. So far it seems good, but they don't let you skip the cutscenes. For that, I give it a 0. What?
Being so petty.
What in the hell? Wow. Okay. All right. I'm gonna ignore that one. All right, and then my last game that Jeff looked up for me was Mario 64. This one's by Crossbone. 4 out of 10 for the Mario 64. Wow. The original version of Super Mario 64 is one of the most overrated games of all time. Graphically, it's aged about as nicely as a carton of milk that came out in 1996. Oh wait, this trash game got released in 96. Jokes aside, the graphics are pathetic and have aged poorly. The controls are fine, but there's way too many glitches that can either break the game or make the game way too easy. Looking at the backwards long jump. Okay, fair enough. But I mean, come on, why are we talking about aging poorly? It's the N64. It was like one of the first open world 3D, games that kind of paved the way for open world gaming. And it was the first open world 3D Mario game. So chill. Next one, Mr. Game Man, MD 2 out of 10. What happened to Mario? This game does not reflect the greatness of its predecessors, such as Mario Golf on the PlayStation 1 and Tetris. Like many games in recent times, it suffers from a big problem. There is way too much water. There was a lot of water. I'll give him that. The only thing this game has going for it is its deep storyline involving the girl from Last of Dust and Pokemon Diamond. What? That is why Mario Dreamcast gets a solid 10 out of 10. Wait, what?
That is a troll. I'm sure that's a troll review, but I admittedly got a good laugh out of it.
That has to be a troll, but that's really good. That's amazing.
Mario Golf on the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, like, wait, what? Am I reading Tetris? All right, and then last one. Oh, so we got one more, it looks like.
That's it.
Brain Damage, 4 out of 10. Overrated, there were much better games out on N64, such as Turok and that Star Wars game. That Star Wars game, it was so good, I couldn't remember the name. And Mario Kart 64. This game, in my memory, being 32 now, was not very good for the time, and that was back in 96, my friend. Sega Saturn was better than this piece of crap.
The entirety of Sega Saturn was better than this piece of crap.
No. Oh my god. There are so many, like, well-renowned games that came from the N64 and not on the Sega Saturn. There's a reason why Sega no longer exists, except for their little tiny digital boxes. So, boom.
All right,
I loved my Sega Genesis, so...
we're going to move on to my favorite games. I have read these reviews because I selected them. First one was for Final Fantasy VII, my favorite game of all time. The first one I have is That Retro Gamer. I guess I didn't write that. I wrote 4 out of 10. I was like 4 out of 1 dash. He wrote, kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. The game sucks. But there are some redeeming factors of the game that keep me playing. But Johnny D is right. I wasted 42 hours on this game. Wasn't worth it. But I've played worse RPGs. Still, the graphic, story, gameplay, and characters are all a mess. I like how every other sentence was like, but I did enjoy it, but it sucks.
Sounds like a troll as well.
Yeah.
I like that. I played for 42 hours, but it sucks.
Next was Mark B, 0 out of 10. Final Fantasy VII is probably the worst Final Fantasy in the entire series. I don't understand the cult following it has. The music is bad. The gameplay is just abysmal. The graphics look like crap. There is no character development, and the story is just retarded. Sorry for using the R word. Every time I play it, I have to force myself just to finish the first disc. After that, I felt like I wanted to drill a hole in my head. If I could, I would go back in time and stop this game ever being made.
Wow.
The music is like the one thing that like everyone agrees is dope.
I was gonna say the music was actually pretty. Like the music was good. Like everything else was like really rough for me.
And like the thing, like
but the music was good.
I got lost in the story when I was 10 years old playing this game, but the characters are what kept me for it.
Yeah, no, I get it. In the story, I could see how it would be compelling to a younger kid.
Yeah,
because it actually is really well done for like a younger generation.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Also, he says every time I play it, I force myself to finish it. Like, how many times have they played the first disc?
Yeah, like, wow. It can't be that bad if he kept wanting to play it.
I know, right?
You know what I mean?
Jesse R gave it a 4 out of 10 and said the most overrated game ever. Lots of ADD-afflicted kids worship this game and refuse to try anything 2D. This is sad.
Oh my god.
That person has to be at least 40.
Seriously.
By the time this game came out, they were already too old for it.
Yeah, they're like, nope.
Hannah L, 0 out of 10. This game is boring. Graphics are horrible, and they could have done better. I wouldn't be so angry if this was the best they can do, but I saw other PlayStation 1 games that have way better graphics than this. Cloud has, like, horse hands.
Horse hands?
As soon as I read that, I'm like, it's so true.
He totally does.
And it's always so dark.
Accurate.
And it's super boring. It's impossible to finish this game. Oh,
wow. The horse hands, though, that's pretty good.
Like everyone had big shoulders, really scrawny forearms.
They
and
did.
Then, like, these blocks,
and then these huge
like, cylinders.
Yeah, like it was like Monty Python coconuts. Like it's so good.
Alex is all hooves. Steam this was a Steam review. Where Eagles Dare, he gave it a negative review.
Okay.
Everyone says this is the best Final Fantasy, but this is probably the worst. Outdated graphics. Seriously, the backgrounds are JPEGs. PS1 is less detailed, much better. Cloud is probably gay. Ares dies, lol. My dog died. I'm a failed abortion. Please end my suffering. If those sound like things you could deal with in a game, buy this trash. If not, play the best Final Fantasy, Lego Star Wars 3.
Wow, that is like the most depressing ever.
Also,
Wow.
clearly a troll review, but I had to sneak some of those in there. Next game I put up there was The Wolf Among Us, another game I thoroughly enjoy. First review is by Bosco Puska, 1 out of 10. By far, one of the worst, most boring games I've ever played. Characters are painfully boring and stupid. Dialogues are even worse. Made me angry most of the time. Action scenes are mostly redundant with no real action involved. You can collect a few items, but without any real point. You can't use them, and they don't make any difference in the story. They'd be better off making a movie. The graphics are the first advantage. The episodes are very short, an hour of gameplay. That's the other advantage. At the end of the 5th episode, the only choice I regret is playing this game. I'd be better off staring at the blank screen. If someone offered me to jump down the witching well or to replay this game, I'd be jumping down before they could finish the sentence.
Wow.
Like, each episode is $5, and I think $5 for an hour to an hour and a half of an interesting story for me is worth it.
It's so well written, and it's just so interesting. Like, taking your favorite characters that you used to like, that you grew up listening to as like fairy tale stories, and they're put into this really dark, like ominous genre. I don't know, like such a good game. I can't believe that.
I know. Yeah. There's so much to. Next, I guess that's all I had for that.
That's fine. That was enough.
WWF SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain. One of the first wrestling games I loved.
That's a good one.
Number 1, Benjamin H, 0 out of 10. It is a bag of rubbish and needs snapping in half. Thank you.
Okay.
Next, we had Low G, 4 out of 10. This game is shallow and overrated. You freaks don't know anything about good games. The graphics aren't good. The models collide terribly, so when someone punches a fat wrestler, his hand goes through his abdomen. A little weird. All you horny 14-year-olds got this game because of the bra and panties match, I bet. The grappling system is better, but still shallow. I still think of it as an advanced button mashing, and as all these guys say, it's the best wrestling game ever. Sadly, it's not that good. I will say the bra and panty match was a very big selling point to me as a child.
They haven't played No Mercy, though, clearly, on N64.
Yeah. All right, next one was, this is the last one for me, Greg M, 2 out of 10. There are a lot of wrestlers missing. La Resistance, Mark Henry, Maven, etc. The Royal Rumble matches are cheap. Royal Rumble should be played like real life where you have to work to eliminate your opponent or CPU eliminate you. I started number 1 with Goldberg, threw out half a dozen wrestlers, then got punched twice by Hurricane and knocked out. Story mode should be longer in year terms, and player attributes shouldn't be based on winning matches. Strength should be based on lifting weights in the weight room. Speed and endurance based on running on tracks and city streets. Technique and submission should be based on training in a ring. All belts should be able to defend in an exhibition. Disappointed that there's no commentary and voiceovers. Creative mode should be upgraded. The ladies in bra and panties should have had thongs on. Legends suck because they don't have their original entrance music or moves. Wrestlers should not get pinned after a little clothesline. Some wrestlers' stats are underrated. I included that review because they had a bunch of legitimate complaints, and then they're hilarious. Like, the women should be wearing thongs in the bra and panties. Just proving the last reviewer
the last guy's review, exactly. That's amazing. You horn dogs. You just bought it for the bra and panties match. Next one.
You right.
They should have been wearing thongs. That's hilarious.
Pixelated thongs. So those are the worst reviews of the games we like. Moving forward, we're going to use terrible reviews to explain some games we come across.
Yeah, I definitely think we're going to continue this, whether it's, a game we're playing or something. I don't know. We'll work these horrible reviews in somehow because these are hilarious.
Yep.
And I think we'll just surprise the other one with them. That way they have to read it. It'll be funny.
Love it. All right, we're gonna move on to our video game Mad Libs. Nathan and I each selected a game. We took the description for that game and took out keywords to be replaced with different nouns, adjectives, verbs, etc., to try to throw the other person off as they try to guess which game we're describing. So Nathan, do you want to get your things first?
Sure. I need a male celebrity.
Tom Hanks.
That's gonna be good. Let me add that one here too, so I don't screw that up. Tom Hanks. Okay, I need an animal.
A rabbit.
Rabbit. Okay, I need a number.
87.
Okay, and I need an adjective.
Sweet.
I need a noun.
Curling iron.
A verb.
Skipped.
Okay, and then a female celebrity.
Missy Elliott.
A fast food restaurant chain.
In and Out.
I need a retail store chain.
Coles.
That's good. Another animal.
A lizard.
Okay, and then another noun.
Bracelet.
Wait, actually, I got it already. Oh. I got
it. For you, I need a person you are close to.
Jeff.
Oh. Can I get a biome such as like desert or forest, etc.?
Let's go to cavern.
Famous location.
Paris. Since we were talking about it earlier.
Activity.
Smoking.
Verb.
Shoot.
Noun.
Desk.
Verb.
Close.
Noun.
Window.
Verb.
I feel like Brick, where I'm just looking at things around the room and then saying that
I did
thing.
the same thing.
Sorry, what's the other one? A verb?
Yeah.
Another verb. Jump.
Noun.
Monitor.
Noun.
Concrete.
Organization.
Let's go with apple.
A activity for couples.
Dancing.
Plural noun.
Telephone poles.
And then I just used
I don't know.
Biome from earlier. All right, I am ready. So go ahead and read yours to me.
Okay, and how are we doing this? If we need hints, we start adding words back in.
Yes, every word that is revealed, we will take the point away from.
Okay, but there can't be more than 10 points removed, right?
No. So if you get down to 0, then it's over.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Okay, here we go. So the game's storyline focuses on a young man named Tom Hanks, who enters a forbidden land. Tom Hanks must travel across a vast expanse on a rabbit and defeat 87 sweet beings known simply as curling irons in order to skip the life of a girl named Missy Elliott. The game is unusual within the action-adventure genre in that there are no in-and-outs or coals to explore, no lizards with whom to interact, and no enemies to defeat other than the curling irons.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Yeah.
I think...
You got it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was travel across the vast expanse, defeat beings.
Yep, and then once you save Missy Elliott, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
It's getting harder to pick games that I know you know.
I know. Yeah, that's the hard part for me. I'm starting to run out of games, but I don't know. Well, nice job.
Yeah, thank you. Initially, I thought this one was going to be too easy, but we'll see if I have in turn made it too hard. So, in this game, players take the role of a character who takes over Jeff's dilapidated cavern in a place known as Paris. The game is open-ended, allowing players to take on several activities such as smoking, shooting desks, closing windows, jumping from monitors, selling concrete, and socializing with Apple, including dancing and having telephone poles. Players may select from several different cavern map types, with each one having their benefits and drawbacks.
Oh, hang on. I think I've come down to 2. Could we read it one more time for me?
In this game, players take the role of a character who takes over Jeff's dilapidated cavern in a place known as Paris.
Okay, I think I got it.
Okay.
What is, not what is, I thought I was playing Jeopardy. Stardew Valley.
It is Stardew Valley.
Yeah, buddy!
We both got 10 that time. Look at us.
I'm taking a note, 10-10.
Cool.
Look at that.
Yeah, we should just write the scores in all of the notes, and then that way it's way easier to keep track.
Yeah, I agree. We should write our own. We should keep our own. We should keep track of our own points and just trust each other.
I'm looking in the chat to see if anyone guessed it before, but I guess not.
Well, Alex guessed the Shadow of the Colossus, so
okay. I wasn't reading it, so if it was guessed before me. I just saw her note that says pointy thongs, lol.
Yeah. I can't believe I said what is, like I was playing Jeopardy.
You were like we should do Jeopardy ones. Like if we
that'd be
if
good,
we hosted
actually.
a Jeopardy for guests.
I agree. That'd be amazing if we did that.
Daily double.
I'd love that. First person. The categories could be really fun, actually.
Yeah. I'm gonna write that down.
Do it.
Sometimes I'll think of a game we could play and I'll get home.
If we could work it in, but the thing is, it has to be visual because you can't just like memorize all the categories unless everybody has the categories prior, like on their own end, and then they can just pick the categories. Well, but then you have to keep track of when they pick the number.
Yeah, we would be on like Zoom, and I could like have it on a screen, share screen.
You could the share screen could work. Yeah, that could work.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
So that was fun. That was give it or not. That was not Give It an Hour. That was Video Game Mad Libs. Now we're going to go to Give It an Hour.
Give It an Hour.
Nathan and I selected games for each other to play. Nathan played Night in the Woods, and I played The Long Dark, which are very similar in title. So well done to us. Why don't you tell us about Night in the Woods? I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't play I probably only played this game an hour when I recommended it to you.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. Before we start, actually, every week when we do these Give It an Hour games, we actually reach out to the people that listen, the listeners, for their reviews of the games as well. And we reach out on Twitter and Instagram. So if you would like to do that next time, you didn't make it for this game, you can. And but today we're going to read a couple of reviews. Actually 3 reviews. Oh my god, how did I not add Alex's review? I'm such an idiot. I can't forget that review because it was so good. But let me pull it up here as I'm fumbling now like an idiot. Hang on. Sorry. God, so stupid. Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm gonna start off with these ones here. So, Fun Man on Internet. This was on Instagram. Well, The Long Dark is amazing. I'm a several-year veteran, and it's a game I always come back to. The updates add just enough everything to stay interesting without being overloading. The community is beautiful, and the art style is stunning. Gameplay is extreme at first, but gets easier the more you explore. The next one was from ev.nb, also on Instagram. They said, well, I've played both all the way through, so I can tell you they're both amazing. The Long Dark is the perfect game to immerse yourself into for long stretches of time, especially around this time of year. And Night in the Woods is a deceptively beautiful and funny game that has a slow start but is well worth finishing. And then we had an amazing review from Alex to Pow Yeah on Instagram. She said, I found solace while playing Night in the Woods. Right away, I identified with May, who is also a 20-something-year-old still trying to figure things out. I loved each of the characters and how they reminded me of friends and family of my own. Within the hour that I played, I got the intense feeling that this game isn't about figuring things out and knowing the end goal, but going with the flow. The dialogue is quirky, the gameplay and characters are relatable, the graphics are simple but incredibly beautiful. I love it. I've played through a bit of this before, but with revisiting it this time, I realized I missed so much my initial playthrough. I'll be adding it to my backlog for sure. Thanks for the recommendation. And thank you, Alex. That was a really nice review.
I always appreciate their contributions.
I know, right?
She's saying you forgot her in the chat, and I'm not sure what she means by that.
It's
I
because
get
I
it.
didn't.
Because
I didn't put it on
got
the notes. Yeah. Anyway,
I forgot.
so thanks
she was
again, Alex, for
forgotten.
that. That was great. And thanks for everybody who actually participated in this week's Give It an Hour game. Again, if you'd like to participate, I do a post every Wednesday on Twitter and Instagram, and you can comment on those. Or you can also email us at contact@backlogbeyond.com. So for my review for Give It an Hour, I played Night in the Woods, and the first thing that caught my attention, oddly enough, well, not oddly enough, but made sense, was the sound. Everything just fit so well with the animation, but I think my favorite sound in that game was the speech bubble sound design.
Yeah, it's such a satisfying little
It was so satisfying, that speech bubble sound design, because it's so subtle, but if you actually pay attention to the sound, there's just so much detail to it, and there's so much going on. It is so good. It is orally pleasing.
That's a very uncomfortable word, but I
know, but it's correct. It's really good. Anyway, so yeah, the sound design was amazing. I loved how the game looked and played. I couldn't tell if it was actually in 60 frames per second, but it looked like it was. But everything just played so smoothly. It looked so fluid. The animations, everything looked great. I loved the dry, cynical humor. It was right up my alley. I loved it when May was talking to that one cat, where she was saying like she didn't have a job or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then he realizes that she was just living with her parents, and so he's like, "Oh, so you're just really lacking like a daytime hobby that pays money for rent that you don't actually need to pay." I was like, "That's hilarious." And then the other one was the mouse that refers to her as the killer. Like she's like, "Oh yeah, you go by Killer." I'm like, "That's really funny because she's a cat and talking to a mouse. That's pretty funny." It was just really cute, like dark, dry humor. It was really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, the animation was awesome because it's got like this 2D look to it, but the layers are like very deceptive with like their color scheme and all the elements that are stacked. So it's kind of hard to tell like what you have to jump on, but at the same time, it's not. It's almost like, oh yeah, I can totally just climb on that right now. I also love that you could actually walk along all of the telephone pole lines. I thought that was really cool. That was awesome. So it's like a whole nother level of exploration. But yeah, it just looks amazing. Now I played a couple of songs on the bass, and it sucked because I tore it to pieces because I was playing in the dark in my bedroom because Shannon was still asleep, and I was like, oh, I'll just get an hour in now, and I could not see the buttons, so I'm just like blindly hitting buttons and messing up the songs horribly. It was so bad, but I loved that. Like May's response to me playing it horribly was, I literally don't know that song. She was like, that was horrible. I'm pretty sure the response maybe would change if I actually could hit the buttons properly. But and even like the band practice, I did the exact same thing. I like effed it up so bad at the band practice, and Greg was like, "That was bad. That was bad." But yeah, man, overall I loved exploring this world. I loved the characters. I really want to see where May's story goes. So yeah, this is definitely a backlog ad for sure. So nice recommendation, man.
Thank you. Awesome. Well, I played The Long Dark. Full disclosure, I loaded it up on Steam, and I had played it for 19 minutes before.
19 minutes.
I remember freezing and dying almost immediately.
Nice.
For spec purposes, I have an NVIDIA 1060 6GB graphics card. My CPU is the i7-4790 with 8GB of RAM. So when I talk about how the game ran, that's for reference. I didn't know this game had story modes now. So when I picked it up, there was one limited time for Halloween time, but I did.
I didn't know that.
I did the. It looks like it's only available through the 6th, so that sucks.
Oh, okay.
But I started the water mute story mode.
Okay.
I really like the art style this game has adopted in the character models, especially. Gives it a very comic book feel, and it really, I think, would keep it from feeling dated because it's very specific in its style and it's executed like beautifully. Right. I have Philips Hue lights all around my room, and the PC has a Hue sync option. So especially that opening video, like the lights were gorgeous. Like
I need to get the hues because that game with Hue would be absolutely like with the Aurora Borealis and everything. That game would be gorgeous. Oh,
yep. And
so
like
jealous.
playing computer games is perfect for me. If I wanted to do it with like PlayStation 5 games, I need to get like a $220 adapter.
Oh my god.
And it pretty much like that plugs into your TV, and then you plug HDMI's into that, and then your lights recognize what's on the screen.
Oh my god.
So that's going to be big Black Friday look for.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
wow, that's amazing.
It started with that hand wound, and I'm like, oh, it's already gory. I started playing on a PlayStation 5 or 4 controller, and the movement on the analog stick was so sensitive that like
Yeah.
I would tap it and it would look like way to the right. So I
Like
couldn't.
behind you.
I was trying to like gather stuff to start a fire, and like I couldn't focus on it. But they had some good options to make it doable.
Yes.
So anything I had issues with, I was able to fix immediately. It was a little choppy on Ultra, so I moved it down to high, and everything moved great from then on.
Cool.
The difference between the animated dialogue and the robotic movements of the mouth was a little off-putting.
Okay.
I would almost prefer like if they didn't move the mouths at all and leaned into the comic book thing a little bit.
Okay.
Because like the voice actors were so talented, and they had all this emotion, and then the mouths would just be like, da, 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 da.
The voice acting is really good, but yeah, I agree. That's funny.
I really liked selecting the cargo that you took with you on the flight. Like, what do you think is going to be most important to you? I regret not grabbing the first aid kit, even though I knew from earlier that I was going to be in a plane crash and injured. I took the emergency food like an idiot and then Astrid stuff. I don't understand how to make anything, and I died almost immediately. Like I went into the cave, and for some reason that was warmer than standing next to the fire.
Yeah.
And,
It's really weird.
I couldn't figure out how to make a fire there at all. Like eventually I had to Google that there has to be a pre-existing camp for you to start a fire.
Interesting.
Because I had all the materials, but it wouldn't let me start them. I made it through the night the second time, but died again almost immediately. But
it's a rough game.
I didn't realize it was because I was opening boxes and breaking them down, and that was the equivalent of 12 minutes of playtime, so your health would just drop. So you had to decide what boxes were important to break down and open. That took me several deaths to figure out.
Oh my god.
Got to the crash site, died again. And then I finally ended getting into town, and I stopped right before then. That was my hour.
Cool.
Really enjoyed it more than I played when it was just survival and nothing else to do from then on. And I like it's instantly. I'm probably gonna play it this week. Sweet. Way more fun playing it. Like survival for me is not enough for me to push through. But when you added the story to it, and then add the survival aspects, I'm in. That's like the big thing that 7 Days to Die was missing for me.
I agree. Yeah, 7 Days to Die needed a story. I definitely agree. But I feel like 7 Days to Die is meant to be played with a friend, and like with The Long Dark. I feel like that is the ultimate game to stream with, because if you have a bunch of people that you're hanging out with and you're streaming the game, and it's to see how long you can survive, that's what makes that game so fun. But if you're just playing by yourself, then it's like you're really just like practicing the game for survival. But really the important part of Long Dark is playing the story mode with that survival aspect. It's so cool. So that's awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you're going to be adding it to the backlog.
Yep. Awesome.
Yes.
For the next game, it is a game we're both going to be playing for the first time.
Cool.
And I was hoping we would play it at the same time. The next game is Dark Pictures Anthology, Little Hope.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're going to play that. And hopefully, I assume it has the same mode where we could be playing at the same time.
Sweet.
I should have looked into it first. If not, we'll be playing it single player.
No, I think we can do multiplayer. I'm pretty sure.
Awesome.
There's the 2-player multiplayer mode. Then there's the 5-person.
Okay. Yeah, I want to do the 2-player multiplayer mode because that was a lot of fun last time.
Well, we can do that Wednesday night then.
Yeah. Let's. If you want to stream it, we can. Yeah.
We'll do it.
Maybe if I can get my stuff together, we'll stream from both sides. But at the very least, Nathan will be streaming it.
Cool. That'd be exciting if you can stream too. That'd be great.
That would be cool. I just got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Let me know.
So, moving on. We want to talk about the Twitch. We are live on Twitch right now. It is Sunday night. However, starting next week, we're moving to Saturdays at 8 p.m. Pacific.
8 p.m. Pacific.
Specifically at 8 p.m. Pacific. We're going to be on twitch.tv/Adventure Hawkins. You could watch it on there, or you could listen to our new release date, which is Mondays instead of the former Tuesdays. And And yeah, so you get the news quicker and earlier.
Right. This episode, however, will be releasing on Tuesday, but the following week we'll be releasing episodes on Monday.
Yeah, we didn't want to record on Halloween.
No.
That would have been super lame.
I'm stupid.
Yeah. Anyway, you can reach me on the Twitter and the Instagram, Zavadabadoo, and I changed my Twitch name to Zavadabadoo. So if you're watching and are sick of Nathan's voice, you can go to my stream. Or you can check out Nathan's. How do you do that again?
So I'm also on all the Instagrams, the Twitters, the social medias at Adventure Hawkins. On Twitter, it is Adventure without the E. So you can find me there. And then I stream Fridays, Saturdays, and Sunday mornings really early on Twitch.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Do you have a joke?
I do have a joke. Are you ready for this? Here we go, guys. Here we go. In college, I used to live on a houseboat and started dating the girl next door. Eventually, we drifted apart. Yes!
That was a good one. All right, well done.
Thank you.
Paracord Pete said, I've been here so long, I got used to Nathan's voice. Alex said she'll be there to watch on Wednesday, so I wish there was a 3-player mode.
5, 6, 7, 8.
That was terrifying.